I am Kala Dakurubatibo, and it's my pleasure having you on the other side of the radio. What we do here is we talk for the development of our communities, of our state, and of our country, Nigeria. So, welcome. A lot of things that I like to bring to the fore today. I like to bring to the table today some politics, some not politics, some religion, some economics. We're still going to talk about all of that. Not too many, big stories, like I would like to have. However, we will make do of what is out there in the current affairs department of the country right now. And a few things are happening, and we will talk about those things. And on that note, let's start the big stories without further ado. And my first big story has got to do with a statement credited to Pat Utomi. You know him, he's a popular figure, an economist and a developmental expert. And it was one of the key figures in the political arena in the 2023 elections. A few days ago, he said it was not time to talk about 2027. However, we should be talking about governance. Today is reported to be talking about 2027, and that's what we want to look at. Now, he's talking about a merger of the big political parties in Nigeria. Now, for some time now, even before the general election in the year 2023, there were talks about political forces coming together to usurp the power or the political strength of the APC. Now, that cry has become even louder in the past few weeks. And, there have been talks about merger between Labour Party, PDP, and NPP. But every one time those conversations came to the fore, we saw reports where the political parties mentioned denied any merger. There were talks about collaborations, but there were no merger. However, Pat Utomi is saying that he has spoken to the key political figures in these parties. For instance, Peter Obi of the Labour Party, Atiku Abubakar, who was the presidential candidate of the PDP, and Kwankwaso, the presidential candidate of the NNPP. And he's saying that they talked, and there is the possibility, and they would have to remove their ego, they would have to remove their pride and whatever they think that they have politically to be able to come together to form a formidable force to be able to remove the APC from power. And the way they sound, they make it look like it is something we Nigerians need desperately. We need a mega party. It is possible that they are of the thought that APC would not lose any election in the nearest future if there is not a coming together of the strong forces in the opposition. But what do you think about that? We talked about Labour Party in the state yesterday, how, of course, the NYCN chairman in Rivers State said something about manipulating results in the state. Would a mega force, because we go back to the structure when we talk about politics and elections, will a mega force be able to usurp the structure that has been set, whether you want to look at it from corrupt structure to structures that are political offices, all of that stuff? Will a mega party, we saw one usurp the political strength and political ability of the PDP after ruling for 16 years. Do you see that happening with another mega party? Or do you see this as the desperation of politicians for the political power? Because that's what sometimes it looks like. We can't beat this guy, so let's come together. We share the spoils when we win. Is that not what it looks like at some point with the All Progressives Congress? I do not know, but I'm asking you the question. So what are your thoughts on the mega party? Why can't we have parties that have ideologies so that people can associate with these parties? it brings us back to another conversation we had not too long ago, talking about preparing ourselves for the elections in 2027. The politicians are getting ready, like this one now. You see the politicians strategizing. We, the people, also would have to strategize. And one of the things that came up on that conversation was that we need to join political parties, right? How do we join political parties when we don't even know what their ideologies are? Today they are here, tomorrow they are merging, next tomorrow they are, breaking out and all of that stuff. But I'd like to get your thoughts on that issue. But before maybe I move to the next one, I just will quickly read an article on Daily Trust. Pat Utomi, a professor of political economy, said there were conversations with the presidential candidates of Labour Party, the People's Democratic Party, and the New Nigeria's People's Party, Peter Obi, Atiku Abubakar, and Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, respectively, as a part of the plans to form a mega party ahead of the 2027 presidential election. Utomi said this during an interview on Channels TV's Politics Today. He said that the motive is to save ordinary Nigerians from the clutches of the APC, which he described as a private enterprise of few individuals. Utomi added that Nigeria is degenerating because none of the political parties were ready to give the country a clear direction. So now, what is the guarantee that this mega party will give the country a clear direction? However, who do you think should be the candidate at the president? I mean, I don't know about what the state structure will look like, but at the presidential level, at the national level, who will be the leader? Should it be Atiku, Kwankwaso, Peter Obi? I mean, some people will say, oh, Peter Obi has got more popularity. Is that what you guys call it? There's a name I'm looking for. There's a word rather I'm looking for, but it's not coming to me. However, when we look at the official results, Atiku came second. Atiku, remember, said one time that he's not giving up his ambition. So I'm wondering who will be the lead force between. I mean, yet again, the politicians are strategizing 2027. What are you doing? I mean, we need to take hold of the political space. So these political elites, will not take us for granted. Anyway, it's time to move on. Talking about whether these mergers are for the interest of the people. Daniel Bwala, I believe that's his name, right? Is it a spokesperson for Atiku's campaign during the electioneering season? And he's been speaking and he's been vomiting fire, about political things, most especially about Yesom Ezewo Wike, the FCT minister. Oh, why would PDP not suspend him? Why would he take an appointment? Why would he take an appointment as a PDP member in an APC government? Oh, I mean, he had some solid arguments. Oh, when it came to the political fight in River State, he had a thing or two to say. And they want to, what's the word now? I'm trying to remember, I forgot. But he had a thing or two to say. When it came to criticizing the APC and Tinubu's government, as a matter of fact, records will show that as near as 2 weeks ago, he had some criticisms for Tinubu and the APC. As a matter of fact, he once said that if these parties, we just talked about a merger, if these parties cannot form a mega party, then it will be difficult to usurp the power of the APC, because the APC is looking at trying to run a one-party system. Remember the conversation we talked about it? We had it. It was part of newspaper review. It was part of the big stories. Yes, we talked about it. Now, that same Daniel has now decided to be friends with the lions in the lion's den, if you understand what I mean. He has decided to, sing some praises about Tinubu's government. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you the story. You must have heard it already, but I still tell you. He was at the villa yesterday, the presidential villa yesterday. He shook hands with the president. He had a meeting with the president. And when he came out and he spoke with, newsmen at the villa, he said that it is time to support the Tinubu's administration. I'm guessing he was talking to all opposition members. So for those of you in opposition, my first question, are you going to heed to this call by Daniel Bwala, one of the foremost opposition members in Nigeria? Are you going to hit? I mean, he must have seen some epiphany. He must have seen some, what call it now in religion, in the religious circle, there's a name for it. But my point is, it must have come to some sort of epiphany, and now he knows that there is something glorious going on, and he wants to be a part of it. He says if it will mean him going back to the APC to support Tinubu, so be it. So be it. So, first lesson. When you're following and this is why I can't be a politician. This is why I can't be a politician, because, it looks like once you get there, it is basically your interest against the people, right? It's the politicians versus the people. And I love the people so much. I think I do. But that does not mean if I get there, I wouldn't think of myself first. And that's the reason why I don't want to be a politician. However, first lesson is, when you're following a politician, and I'm saying this because a lot of you listening, what do you call it now, are very much interested in the politics in River State. A lot of people are politically inclined. When you're following a politician, remember that there is no permanent foe, there is no permanent friend. Always do whatever you're doing with a pinch of salt. Now look at the same Bwala. Like I said, up until 2 weeks old, was it last week, it was an ardent critic, a concentrated critic of Tinubu's administration and even the APC. And now is thinking of going back to the APC to be, one of the newspaper reported, it might just be speculation, but I still mention it. One of the newspapers mentioned that Daniel Bwala is lobbying for Simon Lalong's position. I think Simon Lalong was the Minister of Employment, Labour and Employment, and he's lobbying. And it also reminds me of Reno. And I'm wondering how Atiku will be feeling looking at the people who were supposedly structure during the electioneering season now jumping up and down and dancing to the tune of Tinubu's administration. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Yet once upon a time, you and I, we talked about supporting the government. We talked about, being there for the government. Maybe this is what it is all about. I don't know, but I'd like to get your thoughts. Now to my third big story. My third big story has got to do with health. Health, they say, is wealth, right? That's like one of the saying that has lasted for many years and still makes sense. Health is wealth. Until you are sick, and I'm not talking about malaria. Even now, treating malaria is expensive, but I'm not talking about just malaria. Something serious. Until you're sick, and the treatment will cost you millions of naira, you would not understand the statement, health is wealth. And so I saw this report on Daily Trust and even on the bulletin of 92.3 Nigeria Info. And therein, I saw WHO coming out to say that the Panadol, some of the Panadols, or is it Paracetamol now, that we use in Nigeria are substandard. Yeah, you heard me right. Substandard. We pay sometimes heavy amounts. Paracetamol that I would have bought for, some time ago, 50 naira a card or less, is now like 1,000. I've not been sick for a while, since August last year, so I can't remember. But yeah, it's now expensive. Now, as expensive as it is, it does not cure the ailment you take it for, according to the WHO. And they are saying that it is because they are not the milligrams, the necessary quantity is not being used to make the drug. And that's just paracetamol. You've not talked about other drugs, because I've heard some people say, oh, I bought some diabetes drugs and it did not work. And now looking at this report from WHO, I can understand why some of those critical drugs, like that of diabetes and other ailments, are not working, because they are not up to standard. And it brings us to the conversation that was the end of last year, where there are a lot of fake products being consumed by Nigerians, done by Nigerians. Consumed by Nigerians, done by Nigerians. And it's a big story. WHO made a statement in that report that got me, is that a lot of people are not talking about it, or it's not getting the necessary recognition. That's the conversation that it should get, because people say, oh, you're taking it and you're not dying. So, I mean, what's the big deal? Yes, you may not be dying, but you're not curing your ailment, which may become a problem in the nearest future. It may become, more problematic. You know how ailments are. It starts with, a minor headache, and before you know, headache becomes something serious, and you're not wondering, my goodness. So yeah, that's what I want us to talk about. Health is wealth is my third big story. I mean, I could have talked about NDDC and how there was a talk about abandoned projects yesterday, about 963 of them. And how, I'm looking at my screen and how they're not performing and all of that stuff. Maybe tomorrow or on Monday, I would invite Tony Okocha or maybe Bwala, maybe if all goes well. And we'll talk about the end of the sea. But for now, let's look at the three big stories before us. The first one has got to do with the merger. Pat Utomi, the very prominent political economist, a professor of political economics, coming out to say he has had a conversation with, some major politicians in the opposition to form a mega party, to come together and form a mega party so that they can bring out the people from slavery. And I'm wondering, is that the truth, or are they running for their political careers? And then, of course, talking about political careers, Bwala is now dancing to the tune of President Tinubu, who he has been criticizing up until recently, just like Reno Mokri. And then the third one has got to do with substandard drugs. I'd like to get your thoughts. The phone lines are open now. 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp number 0809 030 6416. So I hear they have reconfigured the phone lines in the studio. I don't know how it works now, so I'm going to learn. I'm going to learn how it works. However, there is no call screener today. There is no call screener today, so just you and I. But you can watch me live on Facebook. Drop your comments there. Nigerian for PH. You can watch me live on YouTube as well, Nigerian for PH, and we can do this together on WhatsApp. Just send your messages to WhatsApp 0809 030 6416. And of course, you can also send me messages on X, Nigerian for PH as well. And 0817-923-0007 is another call number with which you can call me. All right, so let's make this work and let's see how it works with a new connection. Hello, what's your name? Where are you calling in from?
My name is Matalayo Osaro from Element.
All right, Matalayo Osaro, welcome. What's on your mind? Tell me quickly, please, straight to the point.
Let me tell you, the only person that has a very good diction is Peter Obi. But yes, I just want to say this. There will be nothing like mega. Why? Because if you see what is his name, Atiku cannot give up his ambition. Atiku will never do it. But Atiku is forgetting that he is of age. I get it. Okay. Rather,
does age matter? Does age matter? I mean, does age matter? Joe Biden is of age as well. Is leading the United States.
Yes. If they are to agree to come there as one, what I'm trying to say is, because of Atiku soon. Atiku will not let it go.
Okay.
They have tried this with other parties, but it's not working. Now.
So why don't Peter Obi or Kwankwaso let go? Why must it be Atiku to let go?
No, Peter Obi has more clearer visions than these two.
So what is wrong? What is wrong with What is wrong with him using that vision to support another person? And just for the interest of Nigeria. I think that's where we're getting it wrong. Must he be the president to be able to help Nigeria get to the place it's supposed to be? Must he be the president?
Now, when we are talking about vision, we are also talking about discipline. Look at him when he was the governor of Anambra State. Then look at Atiku. When Atiku was the vice president, Atiku nearly solved everything. So what are we saying? Integrity matters a lot.
Okay.
It's not only letting go. Now, it will be more inflation.
But if you're talking about integrity, Peter Obi also has certain questions to his integrity, but that's not something I want to bring to the debate now. But I'm just throwing it at you that just as you question Atiku's integrity, there are people who question. Who are questioning what's his name now? Peter Obi's integrity as well.
But the young man came up last election, and definitely all the facts was bringing is true.
Okay.
Now, what I'm trying to say is, forget about Bwala. I normally do hear about him. He used to speak on the channels and all that. What that young man is all after is his own personal interest. Nothing more than that.
Okay.
Even a real mockery.
All right then. All right. Thank you very much. Matalai, I've got to go. Thank you very much. Okay, I have to drop first and then pick, right? Hello, what's your name?
Good afternoon, Canada.
Yeah, good afternoon. Your name, your location.
My name is Robin Maja, the farmer.
Robin. All right, so tell me what's on your mind, please.
You see, the postulation made by Pat Utomi, if you ask me, is coming late, but better late than never. How do I mean? In retrospect, you can put together the vote that PDP and Labour Party threw away this past election.
Okay.
They threw away.
You're not going to add NNPP's votes?
I'm this aside. Just these two together, PDP and Labour Party threw away 20 million votes. How many votes did Bwala Tinubu president and Bwala Tinubu won the election? It's not 8 million plus.
Okay. Yeah.
So if they had done that in this past election, the rest would have been history. However, if it's for their personal interest, that's another discussion another day. But I see if they do that, they have modeled themselves. They have seen that if they had agreed earlier, they have succeeded more better the way they champion and think they are talking for us Nigerians. And if they see further, to see how they will come together. Before then, they have agreed who is going to go down, who is going to be the vice, who is going to do this and all the rest. And I think that can still work. Having said so, on the issue of Bwala, I watched him, one of those last discussion on channel the other day. He was taken from London. And I heard all that he said. Let me tell you, Canada, there are people who have been exposed to free money for doing nothing, 100 million, 50 million, 20 million. Their stomach is so large that they can no longer drink and chew granite like me. They are having problems. Where was it getting an interview? In UK. We are talking about how to build our economy. But these Nigerian politicians, they fly abroad.
But he's in Nigeria now. I mean, I just told you you shook hands with the president yesterday. I mean, he's in Nigeria.
That is what I'm telling you. The interview he was postulating about if the parties does not come together.
Okay.
He was in UK.
Okay.
So, Nigerians, as we are going, people are beginning to be more wise. That this thing they are talking. Some of us will know. Because I read political science in school. So I'm an authority in political science.
I like
so,
that.
Some of us, yes, some of us know this thing before time. But when we stand up for them that are around us, they don't listen to us. All what they are shouting now, because we don't have opportunity to appear on screen, to appear on, on those clips and all the rest to talk. We are saying this thing before now. So Nigeria should be wiser because
all right, thank you, Robin. All right, thank you, Robin. Thank you, Robin. Robin, thank you very much. Hello, your name, your location, your contribution, please.
Hi, Kennedy, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Welcome.
Thank you. This is Miriam, that's Africa Woman.
Africa Woman, welcome. Africa Woman, how's you today?
Oh, fine,
right,
thank you.
All right, let's talk.
Look, thanks for this statement. Well, I don't agree with him. In fact, I totally disagree with him. Now, merging political parties, are we doing it just... do we know, in fact, for all political parties, we don't have the same ideology. So, if we merge them, you see that one party will fulfill their own ideology to agree with the other person's ideology. You
should ask yourself first, do we have parties with ideologies? I mean, if we...
I'm just trying to reason as if now we are in a center line,
Okay.
At least.
We are saying, Muriel, you're saying, right? I am saying, the callers who have called in are saying, the callers who would call in are saying, other people listening are saying. So I want to believe we are sane people. We are in a sane climb.
No, we are people in a society. Now, the society, people who say is the people that make up the society. I disagree. It's just a minimal number of people. All the people is not, because people are different. We are all different. So
okay.
Different. I think I'm thinking it's our political stand that makes up our society now. Okay. That's why our society is not going forward. The same people are just as many as we are. But it is the politicians that are controlling. It's them. So that's why I say we are not necessarily in a sinner clan. But so I'm trying to be corrected though. But so now let me invite ideology. If I go there now, we're not talking about this thing and no. Now, if we're talking about merging, are we merging for the purpose of just defeating the incumbent, just to bring down the person up there? So when they now bring down the person up there now, the president, what next? They will now start their own disagreement. Do you know that no matter even if 3 or 4 political parties merge, the president, the incumbent, is the one that controls the court.
Yeah.
He appoints the judge. So do you know that because he appoints them, he controls them? The kind of system we run is as if we don't need electoral system. The judges decide who rule us. So if the judges decide who lead us, and the president, the incumbent is in charge of the judge controls him. So what are we talking about? The message of world worker, honestly.
All right, then.
I pray that the people won't listen to them because wherever he goes.
But what if he does? What if he does? What if he listens? I mean, up until 2019, he was in the PDP. He was friends with Atiku. I guess they had the same ideologies. Pat Utomi supported him in 2023, so I guess they have the same ideologies. So maybe there are similarities. I don't know about Kwankwaso. Maybe Kwankwaso is the one who, because he could not agree with Obi at some point, maybe he is the one with a different ideology. But the rest look like they have similarities and they have similar ideas.
Absolutely. But do you know why I say the very good for him now? Because he removed himself from this people.
Okay, all right.
And he was able to stand alone, and he was able to convince me that he can take us from where we are, the current where we are, and take us to a better place. That was why I voted for him.
All right.
Any politician that rocks themselves with this crop of political leaders we have, trust me, I don't know about no matter if you like think yourself as a sheep in the midst of one sheep in the midst of 10 wolves, then you vote as sheep. So that's I cannot trust that little sheep that is in the midst of hundreds of wolves. And I want to plead with those our brothers. We know that they have this invention. It comes with them naturally to create something. Please, they should please help us. They should not produce dead dogs again.
All right, thank you. Muriel, I've got to go. Muriel, thank you very much. I've got to go. Let's take one more, then we read some messages. Hello, what's your name and where are you calling in from?
Yeah, hi, Kalada. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, Mufasa on the line.
Mufasa, welcome. What is on your mind?
Well, for me, in as much as I have so much respect for Professor Pat Utomi, I still believe that he's one of the people who have actually caused the problem we're having today in this country.
Okay.
Pat Utomi has been friends with almost all the key players that he has mentioned, even the current president, Bwala Tinubu. Even yesterday, I actually followed that program, and there were certain questions that he was trying to dodge cleverly. For me, the goal is it's not supposed to be to dislodge the party in power, because that was the same thing that the APC did when they came and they said that they want to remove the PDP. The PDP have ruled for 16 years and that's the solution to Nigeria's problem. But what was discovered was that they just wanted to dislodge the PDP. And this is the same sermon that Professor Pat Utomi is preaching yesterday. For me, why must it be Kwankwaso? Why must it be Peter Obi? Why must it be Atiku Abubakar? Why didn't he mention the likes of Kingsley Moghalu and even Showore? Must it be the same old brigade of politicians that we know too well that positions that they've headed in the past, they've not been able to impart any meaningful impact on the people that they've led. From Peter Obi down to Rabi Musa Kwankwaso. So for me, if you kept mentioning those old names, I just say that we going back to the same old story. So it is nothing new to me. But, politicians trying to take over power and go back to status quo.
All right then. All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time, Mufasa. There, let's read some messages. Emi Fiaga, we'll start with yours. It says on Pat Utomi's call for a merger of opposition parties, I think Utomi and other Nigerians who believe in such orientation. You didn't complete that. You say our problem is not political party. Our cause of socio-economic and political woes lie more in attitude, not necessarily political party. If these political parties merge to form another political party, there will still remain Nigerians with same attitude. Alhaji Atiku was former vice president. His antecedents are before the public. Kwankwaso has issues too. Peter Obi was governor of Anambra State for 8 years. He could not even make meaningful addition to Anambra State's IGR. He equally performed abysmally in office along issues of authoritarianism, nepotism, impunity, destruction of democratic institutions like the LGA, corruption, alleged looting of public funds, political prostitution, jumping from party to another, etc. We need a change of attitude to make Nigeria work to our general expectations. Emi Fiaga with that one. Okay. Let's see. This one says, good afternoon, KDB. Merger party cannot win the ruling party. INEC will still bring the grammar of glitches. It will be efforts in futility. Comrade Oyibo Prosper. The APC can be overthrown by any merging of other parties because they have a formidable corrupt force that can't be broken without corruption. That's an heavy allegation. I did not see that, so I would not have read that. Let's be constructive with our comments, I beg of you. This one says, Comrade Clinton texting from Bori. I listened to Professor Pat Utomi on the Popular Channel's television program, Tagged Politics Today. What the prof was saying for me was absolute theory that can stand the test of time in Nigeria politics. Professor was part of those that structured the APC, and when his interest was not captured, he defected and later pitched his stand with Peter Obi's Labour Party. Kalada, politics is an interest game, and one thing that you can't take away from a politician is interest. Political parties are mere vehicles lacking in ideologies except that of the candidates. The party's manifesto might look brilliant on paper, but the implementation is always the challenge. Prof can't tell me that he can successfully coalesce the interest of Atiku, Obi, and the likes of Kwankwaso without issues. Let's all join hands with President Tinubu to build a better Nigeria. Oh, wow, indeed. You want to join hands? Okay. This one says, greetings, Canada. Same party told me was instrumental to the formation of APC. Which of those candidates has ideology? Atiku, Obi, Kwankwaso, Utomi, all have defected from one party to another for at least 3 times. Nigerian politicians are all the same. Greed cost their loss in 2023 and will always cause them to lose, except they have a rethink. Nicholas Erasmus. But Nicholas and the likes who have said, Pat Utomi was part of the people who formed what's it called now, the APC, but the APC worked, to win elections. So maybe if they also, maybe because they did not follow the plan before the formation of the party, and that's why people like Pat Utomi, I'm not their spokesperson, I'm just thinking aloud, maybe that's the reason. And so who knows, maybe this time they will stick to the plan of forming a mega party that will be able to compete with the likes of the APC. I don't know. I'm just saying. Influence from Port Harcourt says, the statement by Professor Pat Utomi just confirmed that both Labour Party and PDP are aware that President Tinubu actually won the last presidential election. That's another angle to it. What he's calling for now is the exact move every Nigerian who understands our politics asks LP and PDP and NPP to do before the last election. Unfortunately, they are waking up very late, as Tinubu's moves so far suggest we may not have any standing opposition in 2027 elections. God bless PDAPC LMPC, only you. Oh my. Let's go back to the phone lines. Hello, what's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Good afternoon, Canada.
Yeah, good afternoon to you. What's your name, please?
It's Ken, calling from Ubumini.
All right, it's Ken from Ubumini. Welcome. What's on your mind? I'd like to hear.
Canada, are you aware that this APC now was a new registered party during 2014 to 2015 when the former governor of Rivers State, Right Honorable Amechi, left PDP for the new APC, where they registered it and he sponsored it. Now, this new set of persons who have been, let me say, who has been hunting for their own number one citizenship in Nigeria. These people had also contested and was failed to be the president of this nation. And then the same people now to come to merge what? What are they merging? Put Nigeria in which direction? The same people, what are they going to tell us in 2027? Is there any new ideology that they will let us know that politics is no more politics? They say that every party has its own ideology. What is PDP and the ANPP and the other party will tell us their ideology is.
All right.
So what I'm saying in essence is that they are indirectly introducing, or they want to indirectly introduce one man or one party system in Nigeria. They should all put hands and tell Tinubu what to do, and not to go and form another political party that will come again to raise us in this country. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much. Hello, what's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Yeah,
yes, I greet you right back. What's your name?
I'm calling from Nkoro.
All right, Honorable Leader, welcome.
These people, just like what you said, don't trust politicians. Now, the favor and that party on that side, which I know is very
Hello. Okay. Hello, what's your name? Where are you calling in from?
I greet you, Canada.
Yeah. I greet you too. What's your name?
This is Engineer Domba. I'm calling you from Atlantic.
Okay, welcome.
Canada, I want to say about this political talk this afternoon. There's no amount of merger that will be merger in Nigeria that will remove APC. APC is so strong that they have judges, they have INEC.
Pause now. No, I'm not. See, those are heavy allegations. You don't have facts to prove them. I would not let you use the show for such propaganda. That's what I'm saying. Now, the accusations.
Propaganda, reality that you see in your eye.
What reality? Have you been able to prove any of them? Have you,
yes,
the past?
I do. I was there in election ground and I saw what happened.
You saw, wait now, you saw. No, you saw is not proof. That's the mistake you make. I'm not saying you did not see, but do you have proof to what you saw? I've not said what you are saying is wrong, but do you have proof to that effect? And anyways, move on. If you're going to be, is that what you're going to say? Then I'll have to let you go.
What I'm saying now.
Yeah.
What I'm saying now. There's no amount of merger together that will get them off. The only thing that will get them off is when they begin fight themselves.
Okay.
That's what they'll fall.
Okay.
If you want me to talk about how to get Nigeria right, it is not all about merger. It's for us to reform the election so that INEC will not be the sole holder of the result.
Okay.
Everybody will be a sole holder of the result so that you cannot change your own. And there will be a law.
But everybody has got a copy of the result from the polling unit. Not everybody, agents.
Before you present the electoral board, they said they don't know where you're getting from. Is it what they're telling us?
That's not true. How did Obuzodima win at the Supreme Court? Have you read that judgment? Have you taken your time to read? It was. Oh my goodness, my goodness! Have you read that judgment? Have you read that judgment? Have you read the judgment?
If you want to talk about Obuzodima, it's actually to Nigerian constitution. The primary election was held in primary school. I conducted. Defeated him. So how did they maneuver and get it together election?
Because he used these polling unit results that were given to the police. That's why actually, have you read the judgment?
Hey, I'm not answering my question.
But I'm answering your question.
When you lose primary election, did they conduct another primary election again?
We are not talking about Are we talking about primary elections now? We're talking about polling unit results. And anyways, thank you very much.
Polling unit results. I not provided for them. The right nonsense. I brought it to the Supreme Court.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I do not. I mean, yes, there are times when we can use conspiracy theories, but when you make accusations like, "Oh, the government is in control of the Supreme," I mean, we assume these things, but you don't categorically say it like you know. If I ask you for the proof, can you bring it to the fore? These are the issues. Anyways, let's move on. Let's go on now. So says, good afternoon, Kalada. May we never be sick in this spirit. The rate of fake drugs in our hospital, pharmacies, and the rest is alarming. It is not about praying for the country, but we just need the right things to be done. So sad that you buy a drug at an exorbitant price and still end up buying fake that will not get you treated. Nigerians are dying slowly. Mike from Thai, and Mike, I agree. This one says, I am not supporting the intake of substandard drugs, but how can we get the standard one? Maxwell has asked a very good question there. We would have to wait for the pharmacists and all the people involved, to help us with that one. But this one says, Peter Obi cannot beat Atiku in politics. Let Peter Obi step down for Atiku Abubakar. My support goes to Atiku. God day teme. Oh, okay. If you say so. This one says, Nigerians know who they voted in the last election, but corrupt INEC with connivance with overzealous security agents and greedy politicians changed the results. Where are you not in this country? Doom Wine is asking. It also says to me, political merger, mega party, or whatever name you call it, is a welcome development. But as far as this corrupt INEC and its chairman are not changed and restructured, giving corrupt politicians with their money bags to manipulate the system, mega party is all balderdash, or balderdash, you said. All right, let's see. Good afternoon. Nigeria politicians are all jokers. Bwala, who heavily criticized and insulted Tinubu and Wike, but today is President Tinubu, they laugh, and some people will still not learn God Day from Port Harcourt. All right. This one says, Daniel Bwala, a prominent figure in the People's Democratic Party, declared his unwavering support for the present administration under President Bola Tinubu, defying his party affiliations. After castigating President Tinubu several times on national television, now he's dancing their tune. No permanent friend, but interest. From AB in Kotaria. Thank you very much. More messages here. This one says, merger of opposition parties. As at today, I don't think a successful merger is possible. The 2013 merger that culminated into the APC was the closest we have had to political ideology in Nigeria, the need for power to return to the north. That belief of power rotation was so strong, it binded them together And for once, I think it bond them together is the right word. And for once, we saw even all the losers of the presidential primaries of a major party align behind and support the winner. As at today, what is that rallying point that can hold? Is it governance? Is it corruption? Is it insecurity? Is it food insecurity? Is it inflation rate? They may claim such ideals as their motivation, but I would challenge the three parties to use the states they have governors to show us the prototype of their vision for Nigeria. This is why I believe it would be hard to sell. Text from Oyibo with that one. All right, text, thank you. This one says, good evening, good afternoon. It's afternoon. The visit of Atiku's spokesperson, Mr. Bwala, to President Tinubu at the presidential villa clearly shows that most Nigerian politicians are just looking for a way of survival and not having the people at heart. This is a clarion call to Nigerian citizens to be wary of these men who do not feel ashamed of their actions. Woike or Dinaka. I've got so many messages. I do not know how much I can read, but I'm going to try. This one says, if you're telling me that the APC government doesn't control INEC and judiciary, where were you when the NYCN leader openly said that they wrote the election result in favor of a particular political party? Must you apply logic in everything? And I'm going to ask you this question since you threw that question at me. I mean, I'm gonna, you threw it, so I'm gonna answer you with another question. Is the NYCN the APC or is it INEC? Is the NYCN the APC or is it INEC? No, sometimes when we talk, let's talk well. I only said you don't have proof. I'm not saying the insinuations are wrong or right. I don't have the power to say it. But I'm saying where you don't have proof, you have to fashion your statement or make your statement in the appropriate way. As simple as that. Let's see this one now. This one says, hello, KDB. It's not always the case that results are declared at the polling unit. In the last election in my PU, the results were not declared and signed after counting because someone deliberately, because violence broke out when the EOs were acting funny. They subsequently said they were moving to the Ward Collation Center and the results declared were different from what was counted at the PU. It really happens. I get that part. Anonymous, I get that part. Let's see this one. This one says, Nigeria is a funny and dramatic country. Professor Utomi may not have a better reason for merger because every political party has a good manifesto. What I think we need is value reorientation across board. Dr. Musty from Okrika. And I agree with you, Dr. Musty. We need orientation and reorientation. Constance Mega, I can see you. Come take the business news.
Political issues and developments around